Okay, so you might be saying, Brandon, why in the world do you have your elevator that was finished down and kind of started to be taken apart? Well, there was a service bulletin, and when I originally got my empennage kit in 2022, the instructions that I was working on had you build it this way. And then I forget, I don't know what the date, but there was a service bulletin in late 2023 about adding some Pro Seal to the rear spar of the elevators because there was cracks. Well, I had mine all together, and then I got the laser cut parts, and I did not go check for updates. When I originally did them, I went and checked for updates. There wasn't any updates in, early January, February of 2023. There weren't any updates. So I built my elevators and was all happy and everything, and then the laser cut parts thing happened. I got the replacement parts for laser cut parts, and I did not go look for updates, which I should have done. That was a mistake on my part. I should have looked for those updates. And I got behind on the service bulletins, and just so you know, Vans Aircraft does have notifications when they put up service bulletins. You can get notified. I am now on that list, thank goodness. But the thing that they have for the service bulletin for the elevators, I could have chosen not to do it, which I'm still contemplating. It's really easy to open these up, but it's not so easy to get the Pro Seal down there. So I'm not sure if this is just 4 rivets that I can put back together and be perfectly fine. And the service bulletin does say that I can just inspect it each year for cracks in the rear spar. And if I see them, I can, stop drill them and then put rivets, beside each one. So do I take the time and put the Pro Seal down there? The other question is, I have primed the inside of the skins and the rear spar because I was an idiot and didn't look at the new instructions. The new instructions have you put Pro Seal on those both when you're putting them together. And so is putting Pro Seal down there, now obviously it's probably not as good as if there was no primer, but is it good enough with the primer down there? I mean, the primer, it's pretty well stuck on there. I mean, it does not come off. You can scrape it off, I guess, but would the Pro Seal pull it off? I'm not sure. And with the service bulletin, it doesn't seem like they're using the Pro Seal as a, let me rephrase. So if you are building your wings for the first time using the Pro Seal, it looks like they're using it as kind of an adhesive for the rear spar and the skin. If you already have the skins done, it looks like they're using the Pro Seal as a kind of a buffer for where the curve of the rear spar and the skin, they want to fill that in to give it a buffer so it's not as loose or as flimsy. Flimsy is not the right word, as able to move, I guess. And so would putting Pro Seal in that little crevice, would that solve that problem? I'm not sure. I don't know. I think I will do the service bulletin. There's nothing I can do about the primer. It's there. I can't get rid of it. And so I'm going to do the service bulletin, do the Pro Seal in the crevices of the rear spar both sides, and I will also just inspect it each year at the annual inspection and see if there's any cracks. From what I can tell, there's, at least from what you can glean off of online stuff, not a whole lot of people have seen cracks. There have been some, so I mean, it does happen. What are the possibilities of it happening? And if it does happen, you know, you stop, drill it, and do what I would have to do anyway with the Pro Seal. And so there was years and years of people doing exactly what I did, and I'm assuming at least some of them primed the rear spar, the parts that are inside. So I'm assuming I'm not like out here on a limb, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Pro Seal the rear spar, even though it's primed, put it in there, make sure it looks pretty, button these guys back up, call the service bulletin done, but I will also make a log in my airplane log to check that every annual that I do, just to make sure that I don't start seeing cracks here. So that's where we're at with the service bulletin 00043. So again, first time I'm building a plane, I don't know. So if somebody does know, let me know if that's the right decision. I think it makes sense to me to just follow through with the service bulletin no matter what, but I don't know. I'm just as confused as everybody else in the world, I guess. So talk to you later. Have fun. Bye. Okay, so this is Service Bulletin 00043. This is a part 1 of 3 video series. So I have, this first part is actually me opening up the elevators. The next part is kind of some of the mistakes I made. The third part is actually completing the service bulletin, getting the tank sealant down in there, and then closing them back up. So just FYI, I was gonna put all of these videos together, but it was like 30 minutes long, and I was like, that's just long. So I broke it up into 3, 10-minute roughly sections for doing the service bulletin. So as you can tell here, I cut some little blocks of wood. They're just little 2x4 blocks. In the service bulletin, it tells you what to do with those. And then this is me cutting that little 18-inch piece of pipe that they send you, the 3/8-inch pipe, and then getting the edges. I ground them down so they wouldn't scratch anything inside there too bad. And then it tells you to vacuum those out, and then it also tells you to use acetone to kind of clean any debris or anything that might be in there up, because you don't want it to get in the way of the tank sealant, because you want the tank sealant to kind of go down into that crevice in the elevators. So this is me just cleaning this elevator using my handy dandy flashlight. And as you go, some of the holes are hard to reach. Like you will notice on the inboard side of the elevator, they're angled, so there isn't the rear spar. You can't really, it's not there on the very far side, so it actually comes in a little bit. And you will notice too, on the next one, this one, there's that extra little piece over on the far side, and I would recommend drilling those out as well. And the reason why is that once you pop open the section next to it, it kind of stretches a little bit, and I didn't like it, so I opened that side up. I didn't do anything with it. I just opened it so it could move a little bit freer. And then on this, the right, is that right or left? I forget. That's right. No, that's the left aileron. I laid it down because on the other one, I had a bunch of stuff to vacuum out because I had drilled them up and down vertical, and then all of the shavings from the drilling the rivets out actually fell down into the bottom of the thing, and it was just a pain in the butt to clean out. So that's why I changed. Okay, so today is going to be an interesting day. So I am going to do a couple of things. I'm going to do the service bulletin for the elevators. So I got them prepped and opened up, and I just need to clean them out. And then I can use the tank sealant to finish those guys up. And then at the same time, my little oops that I made on the leading edge of the left wing, my little oops mistake here, let me show you. I put an extra hole in it. Vans, I'd called Vans the support team, and they said use tank sealant. So because tank sealant is extremely expensive, I am going to do the elevators and that little bit all in the same 2 hours. So we'll see if I get it done in time. So have fun.
Spoiler alert, I do not. Just FYI. It was a mess. But I figured, why not end on a dad joke? So what do you call a locomotive carrying bubblegum? A choo-choo train. Those jokes kill me. As always, like and subscribe if you are not. Let me know if you see anything that I did wrong or need to correct. And have fun. We'll talk to you later. Stay tuned for part 2. It will be out next weekend. Talk to you later, guys. See ya. Bye.